watching Dante's Boxing Nation.
Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? So Oscar De La Hoya recently just came out of hiding, and now he's making some noise, basically showing his eagerness to squash the beef with Top Rank, okay? Which is a great positive move towards the right direction for us boxing fans, of course. Now, the other great news is Oscar De La Hoya, obviously now I know that I wasn't the only person thinking about this, but Oscar De La Hoya is showing his eagerness to not only squash the beef, but put together a fight that could be humongous in the sport of boxing. And that's, of course, Manny Pacquiao versus Canelo Alvarez. Huge fight. I never even thought I would hear a promoter say both of those names in the same sentence. Now, before I even get into the possibility of this fight taking place and what probably needs to happen before the fight takes place, I want to talk about the numbers, the possible numbers, if this fight did happen. I was speaking from a diehard boxing fan's perspective, okay? What I basically mean is, don't expect Mayweather versus Canelo type of pay-per-view numbers. Now, it'll do very good numbers. It'll easily do over 1 million, but I'm just saying don't expect close to 2 million. We already know that neither one of these guys draw numbers like Floyd Mayweather, but nevertheless, this would be a huge fight for the boxing fans, and that's the most important thing, right? You know, the coolest thing with even thinking about this fight possibly having a chance to happen is it gives me somewhat of an 80s type feeling. You know what I mean? Hagler, Hearns, Duran, Leonard, Hagler, etc., right? Everybody is starting to be able to fight everyone. And, you know, we've kind of had sparks of that, but we haven't really had the full tournament type ordeal, if you guys know what I mean. I mean, we've had Pacquiao fight Marquez 4 times. Then Mayweather fought Marquez. We've had, you know, Pacquiao fight Mayweather's past opponents, but we really haven't had a full circular type of tournament. And if the two biggest promotional companies in the boxing world, Golden Boy and Top Rank, can unify and work together, man, the possibilities are endless when it comes to matches that can be made, right? Now back to a possible Canelo versus Manny Pacquiao fight. Obviously, guys, this is going to be a huge barometer to gauge the contrast between Mayweather going against Canelo as opposed to Manny Pacquiao going against Canelo. This is the reason why I bring up the pay-per-view numbers, and this is the reason why I'm going to bring up how this fight will possibly play out and why Manny Pacquiao may or may not even take this fight. And speaking of Manny Pacquiao, you know, possibly taking a challenge like this, let's go ahead and talk about that. Now, you know, I've been real busy lately. I had about 3 videos running in my head that I wanted to do, but I just haven't had time to drop them on time. So one of the videos I was going to drop was talking about Freddie Roach asking Manny Pacquiao to possibly move down to 140. And then I heard later on Nonito Donaire was saying that, yeah, you know, Pacquiao would be much stronger at 140. Of course he would be much stronger at 140. So, you know, that kind of makes you wonder, would he take a fight with someone, you know, so young and so much stronger than him, like a Canelo Alvarez? Now, we already know the double standards that exist, right? We know when Floyd Mayweather fought Canelo, they were saying, even though Floyd Mayweather was the one that was closer to 40 years old than his opponent, of course, and his opponent was, 14 years younger than him, almost 20 pounds bigger than him. And I've been telling you guys for the longest, Canelo is pound for pound one of the hardest punchers in the sport, right? But, of course, when Floyd Mayweather fights him, what do they say? Oh, Floyd is going to win this fight easy because Canelo, he doesn't have the experience. I'm dying to hear what they're going to say if Manny Pacquiao were to face Canelo Alvarez. Matter of fact, before Manny Pacquiao says he would face Canelo, just talking about the fight, what are these fans going to say? I'll tell you what these fans are going to say. These fans are going to say, oh, no, Canelo's too big for Pacquiao. We already know they're going to say this, right? They're going to say, Pacquiao, he's too old right now. Even though he's 2 years younger than Floyd Mayweather, this is what they're going to say. Pacquiao, he's too old, and Pacquiao, he's too small for Canelo. Whatever happened to, he has so much experience, and this is the reason why he's going to win the fight. You see, guys, the truth always comes out. The truth always comes out. Because you guys know, just like I know, that Canelo Alvarez would have a very good chance of not only beating Manny Pacquiao, but knocking Pacquiao out. Now, don't get it twisted. I'm not saying right now that I believe Canelo is going to win the fight hands down. I still believe the fight is a 50-50 fight. And if this fight ever comes to fruition, I will definitely make a really detailed breakdown and prediction for a fight like this. But I'm telling you right now, Canelo would definitely have a very good chance of knocking out Manny Pacquiao, and that's what you're kind of hearing when you hear people say stuff like, "Oh no, Canelo's too big. Canelo is this, Canelo is that. Pacquiao's too small." When you hear fans say stuff like that, they are insinuating deep down in their heart, I don't want to see this fight because Canelo would probably knock my guy Pacquiao the fuck out. But the biggest question in this entire video is, does Manny Pacquiao have the balls to get in the ring with a guy who is stronger than him, bigger than him, and far younger than him? Does he have the balls to do what Floyd Mayweather did? Now, we already know that Mayweather has been doing this his entire career. Mayweather has always been fighting guys stronger than him. Much stronger, much bigger than him naturally. Okay? Now, you guys have to understand something. Obviously, Manny Pacquiao, he's fought guys bigger than him as well. But the difference between him and Mayweather is Pacquiao, he hasn't faced too many guys that were bigger than him, younger than him, and in their prime, coming off of wins. Okay? He hasn't really done that. He hasn't really fought an undefeated guy like Diego Corrales that was naturally bigger than him. He hasn't, he's fought guys that were bigger than him, but they were coming off of vicious knockout losses, like Antonio Margarito, like Miguel Cotto, okay? These are the type of bigger guys that Pacquiao faced. The question is, will he get in the ring with a young lion, a young, damn near almost undefeated lion, right? He only has one defeat on his record, and that was against the best fighter of this era, Floyd Mayweather. I would love to see how these two fighters match up. Now, before I go too far, let me just rewind a little bit, because Canelo Alvarez, he has some serious business that he needs to take care of in his next fight. And I know some people may be looking at this like, this is somewhat of, disrespect, a slap in the face towards Erislandy Lara, because people are already, talking as if Canelo Alvarez is just going to walk right over Lara and then fight Manny Pacquiao in his next fight. You know what, guys? I truly believe that Golden Boy and Top Rank, they almost don't even care if Canelo wins or loses against Lara. They're still going to try to make the Manny Pacquiao fight. This is how I think they're looking at it, right? Now, of course, they would like Canelo Alvarez to win the fight because that makes the fight even bigger. But I think depending on how Canelo loses to Lara, if he does lose to Lara, a Canelo versus Manny Pacquiao fight is still a huge fight that could be made, even if Canelo is coming off of a loss. And we already know that Manny Pacquiao, he has a reputation of fighting guys that either came off of their biggest loss, or maybe they came off a big-ass loss, and then they came back and they fought some, stepping stone, journeyman type of opponent, to get a tune-up win, right? If you guys understand that. Now listen, man, I understand that when it comes to the quote-unquote internet world, online, YouTube comment world, you have a lot of people that like to hate on Floyd Mayweather, okay? And I know it kills you. It burns your skin. It burns your ears just to hear someone tell you the truth about Floyd Mayweather. Because you and your dumbass fans and all the other dumbasses on the internet, they're so used to talking all of this bias ass, gay weather this and all this kind of talk that it becomes the norm to think that's the way you're supposed to think about this fighter. Now I want you guys to understand something. Notice you've never heard me, call Manny Pacquiao gay, call him faggy-ow or anything like that. Because if I were to do that, that would make me look extremely biased, right? All I do is kick the facts. I tell you, Manny Pacquiao, he doesn't have the best defense. He doesn't have the best balance, etc., etc. I tell you, I break down things to a T. I'll tell you his strengths and I'll tell you his weaknesses. I'll talk about his flaws, but never do I start to talk all this biased ass fan talk. Okay, now I'm going somewhere with this, so just follow me. The reason why I'm bringing all of this up is because the situation between Manny Pacquiao and Canelo Alvarez, as opposed to Floyd Mayweather against Canelo Alvarez, it reveals the truth when it comes to what fans think about Manny Pacquiao's level, Canelo Alvarez's level, and Floyd Mayweather's level. That's what this is doing right now. Just talking about this, it is revealing the truth. You listen to the comments. When you hear fans make excuses for Manny Pacquiao, it's revealing the truth. And they don't even realize they're doing that. When you make excuses for Pacquiao, when you say you don't want to see Pacquiao do something that we've seen Floyd Mayweather do over and over and over again, it is revealing the truth on what you really think about those two fighters, right? I mean, let's just think about it. Pacquiao is supposed to be the tough guy. He's supposed to be the power puncher. He's supposed to have no fear. So why in the hell is Freddie Roach talking about, I want him to go down to 140? What kind of shit is that? We already know that people have been saying that Floyd Mayweather, he has no power, he's a chicken, he's this, and it's Floyd Mayweather that's going in the ring with these Goliath, monsters. These big-ass guys weighing 20 pounds bigger than him, 14 years younger than him, right? He's the one that's doing that. He's the one that's continuing to do that as he gets closer to 40 years old. Okay? I mean, something is wrong here, guys. Something is wrong here. You telling me that Floyd Mayweather is tougher than Manny Pacquiao? Why would Freddie Roach want Manny Pacquiao to go down to 140 pounds? We know why. And I've seen this happen so many times in the sport of boxing. The quote-unquote tough guy, usually when he fights against a guy who's as strong as him or stronger, he usually looks uncomfortable. He doesn't look confident. He doesn't look relaxed in the ring. Maybe he'll start to box. Maybe he'll start to hold excessively. But the point is, he will look uncomfortable usually. Perfect example, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. against Brian Vera. When Julio Cesar Chavez, the guy who's supposed to be the banger, the brawler, when he got in the ring with another guy that was aggressive and wasn't even as strong as he was, but the guy was just an aggressive fighter, all of a sudden, this is when Chavez Jr. decides that he wants to box. Wait a minute, I thought you were an aggressive, tough guy that always comes forward, okay? But that's because he wasn't used to having a guy implement the same style that he's used to using. Another perfect example is Tavares Cloud. Tavares Cloud, he was that mean, tough guy, aggressive, always swinging for the fences. All of a sudden, when he got in the ring with Adonis Stevenson, another guy who swings for the fences, and another guy who's just as strong as he is, all of a sudden, we seen the tough Tavares Cloud start to buckle. Tavares Cloud, all of a sudden, he looked like he was Michael Spinks fighting against Mike Tyson when he was in there with Adonis, okay? So that's the point that I'm making about these quote-unquote tough guys. When they get in the ring with someone, you know, who has the same type of power, the situation turns into a classic bully situation, right? Where the bully has finally, you know, met his match. Someone who, you know, who's just as big or maybe even bigger than him. And now he's the one with the lack of confidence. Or in some cases, the one with the fear. So it'll be interesting to see if this fight could take place. I mean, Manny Pacquiao doesn't have a whole lot of options unless he keeps, you know, fighting the same opponents over and over. You know, I just have a strange feeling that Manny Pacquiao is going to try to fight someone like Robert Ghost Guerrero. Maybe I feel that way because I remember Freddie Roach saying that he would like that fight. And, you know, that's a fight that I would like as well. But, of course, you know, nothing is better than Pacquiao versus Canelo Alvarez. Well, of course, outside of Pacquiao Mayweather. But we have to, of course, see how Canelo is going to look against Erislandy Lara. And as far as I'm concerned, by public perception, not looking at the, you know, the boxing odds, but the public odds, I think Canelo is an underdog in this fight against Erislandy Lara. You know, it'll be very interesting to see what the odds will be for this fight, but I definitely think he's an underdog, and I think regardless if he wins or loses this fight, Pacquiao-Canelo will still be a very big fight to make. But the biggest question, once again, is Manny Pacquiao willing to take a fight like that? And right now, I don't really believe so. Shouts out to T-Stripe Stripe, who sent me a message right before I made this video on my Facebook, and I totally agree with him. The only way I really see Manny Pacquiao feeling confident enough to take this fight against Canelo is if Canelo gets the brakes beat off of him against Erislandy Lara. Because it is true, we do know that Manny Pacquiao has a reputation of fighting guys right after their biggest defeats. And most of those defeats ended in vicious knockouts. Like I said again, Margarito, Miguel Cotto. And I want to clear this up too because some people send me messages saying, hey, well, you know, that wasn't Margarito's or Cotto's last fight, you know, before he fought Manny Pacquiao. No, I am aware of that. The point that I'm making is the last fight we remembered is when he got the shit beat out of him by Margarito before he fought Manny Pacquiao. Okay? Because it wasn't like Miguel Cotto, he got the shit beat out of him by Margarito, then came back, had a rematch with Margarito, and beat the shit out of Margarito, then he fought Manny Pacquiao. See, that would be different. That's not how it happened. Miguel Cotto, he got beat by Margarito, and then he came back and he fought, you know, a softer touch type opponent. Then he got in the ring with Manny Pacquiao. As far as I'm concerned, that's still fighting a guy right after he just got the shit beat out of him. Okay? So if Canelo wins this fight against Erislandy Lara, I don't believe Manny Pacquiao would even think about getting in the ring with Canelo Alvarez. But if he does, I would give him a lot of credit. Okay? Now, before I close out on this video, let me elaborate on this just a little bit more. You guys, you Pacquiao fans, you have to understand that when you make excuses saying that Manny Pacquiao is too small for Canelo Alvarez, but yet Floyd Mayweather was able to do it, you guys are making Mayweather look good and you're making your guy, Manny Pacquiao, look bad. Okay? I mean, it was only a couple months back when fans were saying that Floyd Mayweather, he should fight Triple G. He should fight Sergio Martinez. So why aren't people saying this about Manny Pacquiao? Is it because people believe that Floyd Mayweather is tougher than Manny Pacquiao? Because people believe that Floyd Mayweather, he can deal with these monsters, but Manny Pacquiao can't? I mean, think about what the insinuation is. I mean, if you're going to be a tough guy, then shit, be a tough guy 24/7. All right? Don't run down to 140 when the tough gets going. That's all I got to say on this one, guys. I'm on to the next one.